Welcome to the deep dive. Today you've pointed us towards Bengaluru, India, and the stack of info you sent paints a picture of a city that's, well, really a microcosm of modern India, wouldn't you say?
Definitely. It's got these multiple identities all jostling together.
Right. It's known as the Silicon Valley of India, the Garden City, and apparently even the pub capital. So our mission today is to, understand how one place can be all these things. How does it work?
Exactly. And it's not just about tech, is it? The material shows this really deep, complex history mixed with a really vibrant present. It's about figuring out that alchemy, how these different sides feed each other. Maybe we should start at the beginning, the roots.
Okay, sounds good. So the overview says Bengaluru was founded way back, 1537, by a chieftain named Kempegowda.
That's a long time ago.
It really is. And what's fascinating, I think, is the original name, Bengaluru.
Bengaluru.
Yeah, meaning city of boiled beans.
Boiled beans. Seriously. Seriously. It's such a kind of earthy, folksy name, right? It really grounds the city in this specific past, a world away from, the digital landscape we think of now.
Yeah, it really is. Makes you wonder how that beginning shaped everything else. And then much later, 2006, the official name changed to Bengaluru. Was that just like a tidying up thing?
Not entirely. It was more about embracing the local Canada language, its cultural identity. It's a subtle thing, but, a significant reclaiming of heritage.
Okay, that makes sense.
Now, let's sort of jump forward quite a bit to the identity that, dominates the headlines today, Bengaluru as India's tech powerhouse.
And that title feels totally earned. The sheer number of IT companies, it's staggering. Over half of India's total. It's almost hard to wrap your head around.
It is, and it's not just the quantity, is it? Think about the names. You've got the global giants, Google, Microsoft, Amazon, right there alongside India's own huge players like TCS, Wipro, Infosys. It creates this powerful vortex, talent, investment, innovation.
A self-sustaining ecosystem, you called it.
Pretty much, yeah. Which leads directly into its reputation as the startup capital of India. We hear about new companies all the time. Why there?
Yeah, why is it such fertile ground?
Well, the overview gives some good examples like Flipkart, Baju, Zerodha. Their success isn't just luck. Bengaluru offers this unique mix, skilled people, investors willing to back ideas, and a culture that's okay with taking risks.
Right.
Flipkart, for example, they pretty much created the e-commerce scene in India, and they started right there in Bengaluru. That kind of story, it inspires others, pulls in more talent, more money.
Let's look at a positive feedback loop. Success breeds more success.
Exactly. Innovation sparking more innovation. But it's not just tech, is it? The material also highlights Bengaluru as a major center for learning and research.
That's right. This feels like a really crucial piece. The Indian Institute of Science, ISC. That sounds incredibly important.
Oh, it is. It's a premier institution responsible for just groundbreaking research across so many scientific fields for decades. It's like the bedrock, laying the groundwork for future tech sometimes.
And then on the business side, there's IIM Bangalore, always ranked near the top for business schools, shaping the leaders driving all this growth.
Precisely. And these places aren't isolated. There's synergy, between the research at ISC and the business minds at IMB. And we shouldn't forget NAMHANS, the National Institute of Mental Health and Neurosciences, a leader in a really critical field.
Interesting.
This concentration of excellence across different academic areas, it really shows the city's intellectual depth.
It really paints a picture of a place that values brain power across the board. And the overview also mentions others, right? Christ University, Manipal, RV College of Engineering, showing real breadth.
Yeah, it's not just one or two elite spots. There's a whole system for nurturing talent. Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Something that often draws people there initially. The climate and the green spaces.
Ah, yes, the Garden City. The notes highlight its moderate climate, generally 15 to 35 degrees Celsius year-round. That sounds, pretty nice compared to some other parts of India.
It definitely adds to the quality of life, makes it attractive for people moving from elsewhere. And that Garden City name, it's not just for show. Loads of big parks, like green lungs for the city.
The overview specifically calls out Lalbagh Botanical Garden and Cubbon Park. You can almost picture them, these green oases amidst all the hustle. What's special about them?
Well, they're not just pretty, are they? They're important for biodiversity, and they give people vital space to relax, exercise. Lalbagh especially has a really long history involved in botanical research, too.
Okay.
Now, for people looking beyond the tech parks and gardens, the material you shared also touches on some key attractions, tourist spots.
Yeah, a real mix. Historical, cultural. There's the Bangalore Palace, built by the Woodyard Kings. That sounds like a look into royal history.
It is. And then Tipu Sultan's palace, the fort of the old ruler of Mysore, holds its own historical weight, you know? These sites give you a real connection to the region's past.
And for getting out of the city a bit. Nandi Hills is mentioned for sunrise views. Sounds popular.
Oh, definitely. A classic local getaway. And for wildlife buffs, there's Bannerghatta National Park nearby. Plus, the ISRO Museum is interesting, connecting back to India's space program, another side to Bengaluru's science scene.
Right. Broadens the picture beyond just software.
Yeah.
And lastly, the Vitana Sudha, the state government building.
Right.
Looks quite grand in the pictures.
Yeah, it's impressive. A powerful symbol of governance and architecturally significant, too. Shows the city's role as a political center. So clearly lots to see and do. And we can't forget the food.
Oh, definitely not. The overview raves about the South Indian cuisine. My mouth was watering reading about Bengaluru Bedi dosa, idli vada, Mysore pak, bisi bil bath. It sounds incredibly flavorful.
It really is. Bengaluru has a rich food heritage. Those dishes are central to the culture. And then the other big claim to fame, the pub capital of India.
Right. All the breweries and nightclubs. Speaks of a more modern, vibrant social life, I guess.
Absolutely. It seems to cater to a really wide range of taste. But of course, all this rapid growth, it hasn't been without its problems, as the material points out.
No, seems not. The big one mentioned is traffic congestion, something anyone in a big city can relate to, I suppose.
Indeed. The overview specifically names hotspots like Silkboard, Marathahali, Whitefield, Electronic City, especially during rush hour. It's a daily reality for a lot of people there.
The price of progress, maybe. But it also mentions improvements, right? Expanding the metro rail, building flyovers. Is that helping much?
They're definitely trying. These projects are improving connectivity bit by bit.
Right.
But the sheer volume of traffic, it's still a major challenge they're grappling with.
Okay.
Despite that, though, the economic energy is undeniable. It's listed as the second fastest growing city in India.
And importantly, it's not just IT anymore. The diversification. Biotech, aerospace, e-commerce, gaming, even electric vehicles. That's really striking. Suggests resilience, a future focus.
Absolutely. And you still have those massive IT parks like Electronic City and Whitefield anchoring things, drawing talent and investment globally. So when you kind of pull it all together, what you see is Bengaluru as this amazing meeting point, modernity and tradition.
Exactly. It honors its deep history, the city of boiled beans.
Yeah.
While pushing the limits of tech and innovation.
Yeah.
Add in the nice climate, the strong universities, the great food, the culture. You can see why it's considered one of India's top cities.
Right. But it's important to keep that balanced view, acknowledging the growing pains. Traffic, cost of living, these are real factors shaping daily life.
Totally. So, to wrap up, we've gone from Kempegowda and boiled beans to a global tech and startup powerhouse. We've touched on the universities, the gardens, the palaces, the food, the pubs, the traffic jams, and the diversifying economy. It really is this incredible blend of past and future.
It is a city constantly remaking itself, playing a bigger and bigger role on the world stage.
Which brings us to our final thought for you, the listener. Thinking about Bengaluru's incredible speed of change in all these different facets, what might be the next big thing that defines its future? And maybe more broadly, what lessons can other fast-growing cities learn from Bengaluru's journey, balancing modernization with, keeping hold of their unique character? Definitely something to chew on. Thanks for taking this deep dive with us.